All right, y'all, let's do this thing. It is time for a TZL dose. We're gonna do a little late night tonight. That's all right. Little nightcap with TZL. Thank you guys for showing up. I mean, it's Friday night, man. You guys could be doing some. Well, I guess you kind of could. I don't know. I don't know what restrictions the COVID mandates are gonna put on you, but I reckon you could be out doing some other knuckleheaded stuff with your Friday night. But I'm blessed if you guys find it worth kicking it in TZL. So, let's do this thing. I hope I make it worth your while and make you smile as I get my grump on. You know how we do. A lot of stuff out there that can make you really grumpy, man. And so I'm going to talk about some of this stuff that came across my desk, and it's got me kind of lit. But I'm still going to try to keep it, keep some levity up in here. I'll try. All right. Speaking of trying to keep my cool, man, I think the last time we was on a TZL, and I was talking about Cuomo and the stuff that he's getting away with, and conservatives trying to help you, right? I'm trying to help you acknowledge the white privilege. Okay, this is not an admission of guilt on your part. I am not telling you to admit guilt. I am not telling you to admit that you are guilty of being white and that you have white privilege. I'm not trying to tell you that you are a product of white supremacy or that you are arbiters of systemic racism. Not what I'm saying. You guys are misunderstanding. See, you're so defensive, right? And you're falling. I'm telling you guys, you're falling into the Democrats' hands, man. I'm telling you. It's like, please heed my warning on this. Do not be defensive about this. Do not have a knee-jerk reaction to it. All right? Don't be sensitive about it. Acknowledge the white privilege. If you don't, please listen to me carefully. If you do not, you just gave the Democrats a pass for all the evils that they've done. Do you understand what I'm saying? All the bitterness of racism and systemic racism and white supremacy and all that sort of stuff that people are still bitter about to this very day has been instituted, has been perpetrated by the Democrat Party. They did this. You have to acknowledge that. If you don't, you have wiped their slate clean and you have nothing to battle them with. You have culturally lost. That's why you keep losing in the culture, because you keep giving the Democrats a pass by being defensive over your whiteness. All right? It's not an admission of guilt on your part. You got to make sure that people know where it's coming from, but y'all don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I have people, still hanging on to this. It's not white privilege, it's Democrat privilege. It's like, dude, who do you think the overseers of the Democrat Party is? And they think that, they'll try to make points to me like, Al Sharpton gets away with whatever he gets away with. And that doesn't look like white privilege. Yes, it does. Right? Or Martha Stewart got sent to jail. That doesn't look like white privilege. Yes, it does. See, y'all really don't know how white supremacy works. Don't you know that in white supremacy, in the effort of white supremacy, perpetrated by the Democrat Party and people just on the left end of the spectrum, like Nazis, you don't think that white folks aren't disposable with them too? That white folks aren't expendable with them? For their cause of supremacy? Yes. You don't think that they can have their non-white favorites too? Right? Hitler allied with Muslims. Didn't mean that he didn't think he used them as pawns to get what he wanted. Right? So you don't think that these people can rely on other nations, representatives of other nations to do it and pick their favorites to do what it is that they're doing? Well, Democrats do that too. It's a shame, man, that these conservatives, I'm telling you, they're a liability to y'all. Right? Conservatives up in here who understand what we be doing and stuff like that, you get it. You get the message. And thank God, and that's why you guys tune in. I'm glad that we have this in common, that we understand these things. But there's too many conservatives out there who don't. And because of their sensitivity to it and their pride and their knee-jerk reactions to this, they get in your way. And this is why we can't advance. We can't advance because they keep playing into the Democrats' strategy. Democrats know how to use this against them, and they every time. No, there's no systemic racism. You just gave the Democrats a pass. It's Democrat supremacy. It's Democrat privilege. And it's like, no, dude, no. Who do you think is pulling the strings for all this sort of stuff? It's the white Democrat elite who think that they are even better than other white people and will sacrifice other white people and will use black people and play favorites with them to get what they want. It's unfortunate, that too many conservatives don't understand how this works. And this is why you culturally lose and you cannot have stable political representation. I'm telling you, right? This isn't a flipping game, man. This is reality. I hear a lot of conservatives out there saying that, well, you got to know how to play the game. This is no game, dude. People are dying, right? People are losing their livelihoods. This has real consequences. While people are talking about playing some political game, the time for games is long been over, right? I'm not in here to play games. I ain't got time for that. I may be all, a class clown and stuff like that, but still, this class clown takes his fun pretty seriously. I want to live in a free country, right? Blessed by God. You know what I'm saying? And that's not something to play around with. We can lose this stuff like that. This is valuable, right? Peace and liberty, given by the Lord. It's valuable, man. It's valuable. And people tend to want to steal or destroy things of value. So, I hope these, these other conservatives, and they get a clue. I hope they get a clue, man. They keep listening to these other, mainstream conservatives wanting to stoke their pride and stoke their ego and their anger and stuff like that, and patronizing them and just getting them worked up with red meat and stuff like that. But instead of telling, and these people are getting rich while you're just getting more frustrated. That's what's happening, right? But they're not telling you anything useful. Give you a lot of information, yeah, but to what to do with it? Just shoot. The only thing they're doing is giving you a bunch of information to shoot yourself in the foot with. Right? There's better applications of the Second Amendment, y'all, than shooting yourselves in the foot. But anyway, y'all, let me move on from there, and I want to talk a little bit about actually, even before I get into this article concerning black congresswomen are leading the fight against eviction. Okay, so this is like Cori Bush, Maxine Water, and some other nut. It was Iana or something like that, whatever her name is. Let's see. They got the whole issue wrong, so I don't care if I get their names wrong. So let's see. We got. Let me talk a little bit about this Cori. Now, once again, kind of going off of what I said about conservatives, making sure you get your language straight, man. Not to have a knee-jerk reaction. Let me show you this. Let me show you this picture right here with Cori Bush. Bam. Okay. She's behind me. Okay. So anyway. Cori Bush, look at that shirt. Look at that shirt, y'all. At least she knows what it is to be a Democrat. She knows better what it is to be a Democrat than Republicans do. And that's the problem with Republicans. Republicans don't really know who Democrats are. They really don't. Right? Too many. Y'all know what's up. That's why you're here. Right? We have this in common, right? We on each other's frequency. And so I feel very blessed for that. But we're a rare few, y'all. We're a rare few. And but unfortunately, most Republicans do not know who Democrats are. Cori knows, right? Rebel. That's who Democrats are. Rebels against the Republic, rebels against the U.S. Constitution, rebels against our God-given rights, rebels against God himself. That's who the Democrats are. She knows it. And she wears the shirt to say it, and say it proudly, right? It's not a thing to be proud of. All right, pride goes before destruction, especially this kind right here. You really want to be a rebel. You want to be a rebel and trying to call herself a pastor? I don't think so. No. But at any rate, y'all, she's got the shirt on. Rebel. While you got these Republicans out there calling these people radicals, they are not radicals. I keep trying to tell you. They are not radicals. And the more y'all call them radicals, the more you have I see it all the time. Whenever I can't even watch these shows, but I turn them on and then I turn it off. Because I'm like, you guys are so well informed, but you use the information to shoot yourself in the foot. You guys have no cultural ground because you give it all to Democrats. You see it all the time. These radical Democrats and these radical leftists. And there's nothing radical about these people. They are rebels. They are rebels. And you are sabotaging yourselves by calling them radicals. They are not. They're not rooted in anything. Selfishness has no core, y'all. It's a bottomless pit. They can't be radicals. There's no radical socialists. There's no radical Muslims. There's no such thing. Because their core is based in nothing. It's nothing that can be satisfied. You cannot live up to it. Right? So being radical in that is vapor, dude. It doesn't go anywhere. But they're rebellious. Right? She's a rebel. She's a rebel against our Constitution. The Constitution itself calls her like the rebels. This is what the Constitution says. This is what the Bible says. Rebels. But you got these Republicans out there. It's not good enough for them. Oh, I don't care if the Bible calls them rebels. I don't care if the Constitution, that document that we hold so sacred, calls them rebels. We're going to follow the lead of Saul Alinsky. That's what y'all are doing. Because you guys have heard the mainstream conservatives bring up Saul Alinsky, during the time that Barack Obama was running for president, and who these ideals come from with Hillary Clinton, all that sort of stuff. Because you guys got turned on to the book by Saul Alinsky calling this movement radicals, which was his strategy, y'all. But because you heard that, you're going to follow Saul Alinsky's lead and call these people radicals, rather than following the lead of the Constitution that calls these people rebels. They suckered you. You are falling for the tactics of Saul Alinsky. And it's so sad that y'all don't get it. You just keep calling them radicals, thinking that it's so impactful that when you call them radicals, you're really sticking it to them. Like it has an effect. And I keep telling you, it does have an effect, and not the good kind. You are helping them defeat you in the culture when you keep calling them radicals. You're helping them promote the idea that the parties will switch side, and that's why people don't trust you, right? And Democrats can just get away with stuff all the time because you help them keep their flipping mask on. The Democrat KKK, hoods and sheets, remember, well, you helped keep them in masks. That's what you do, right? Always playing their games, man. You got these conservatives out there. You guys know who I'm talking about. You see them all the time, man. All the flipping time helping Democrats get away with what they do. It doesn't matter how much information. It doesn't matter if you caught them dead to rights doing this. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to tell you. It does not matter. As long as you help Democrats make you out to be more evil, ergo a racist, which is like the worst thing that you can be. The worst thing. As long as you help Democrats do that, any evil that they do is nothing. And conservatives don't understand that. Too many don't. You guys get it, right? That's why you guys tune in, and I appreciate you. But too many conservatives don't. So, at any rate, y'all, let's see. They want this group that we got here, Cori, Maxine Water, Ayana, I guess they want to. They're wanting to fight against eviction, and that sounds great, man. That sounds noble and good. We're going to fight against people becoming homeless and the evil landlords. Hey, how do you fight against that? Right? It's like Thomas Sowell said, man. It's like when you got a politician up there that says, "Hey, we need cleaner water," even though cleaner water means what? It's basically you're going to dump more chemicals in the water. You're going to spend people's money, dump it in more chemicals. That way they complain about all the chemicals that's in the water. But if you go against that politician and try to tell people, "Hey, man, he's not," the water's already clean. If you want to clean it more, you're going to have to add more chemicals and stuff like that just to make you happy, right? And then you're still going to be mad. But you're going to look like the bad guy because you're going to look like the guy who's opposed to having clean water and clean air and stuff like that. So it's the same thing right here. It's the same strategy, right? The same strategy of, well, we want to make sure that people can't be evicted. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds noble and good. Here's the thing, though. So does that mean that you don't have to pay any rent and you can stay wherever you're going to be rent-free for as long as you want? Is that what that adds up to? I mean, what does this mean at the end of the day, right? So for y'all, does that mean that I shouldn't wave my hands around like that, man. When I do, it makes me look like a Muppet or something like that. I got these web fingers or something. All right, anyway, got to work on my keying out. Got to make my key out better. All right, so anyway, I mean, what does that mean? Can I mean, do y'all mind? Can anybody just walk up into your home? Right? Let me get her from behind me, man. Let me turn that out. I'm pretty sure you guys have had enough. Bam, she gone. All right, Ghostbusters. Anyway, so let's see. Would these people be okay? Would it be okay with them if somebody just walked up in their house and just decided that they're gonna stay as long as they want without paying no rent? Are y'all gonna be okay with that? I don't think so. Okay, so but you guys want to make it look like you guys are these kind-hearted people who are gonna make sure that people can't get evicted. And don't get me wrong, y'all, being evicted, that would suck. It really would. You know, I hear you. It sounds very compassionate and all that sort of stuff. But we don't want to see people get homeless. Of course not. But this is not a practical approach. This hurts people. It doesn't help people. It hurts people. Okay? So, I mean, basically what these women are doing is that they're promoting slavery. All right? The landlord is now a slave to the tenant, forced to provide accommodations. Okay, so, I mean, these people don't understand, man, they, while trying to call other people Nazis, they don't realize how Nazistic they are. You know, where it's basically, you're going to have the state just so heavy-handed, you might as well have the state just own these places. You might as well just turn every place into the projects. If this is what you're going to do, you might as well just go ahead and make everybody wards of the state. And just everything is the people's, right? Patronizing people with this whole people's movement, the People's Republic and all that sort of stuff. It all owned by the state, man. You know, and then until you get to a point where what? I mean, this used to be a country. We know that it sucks in other countries because people be trying to risk their lives to come here. People don't risk their lives to leave America. People risk their lives to come here. But if y'all keeping the way going on the way that you're doing, it's going to end up like that. You think that Berlin Wall was there to keep the enemies out? Keep invaders out and stuff like that? No, it's used to keep people in. People trying to escape and got killed. Now, man, we out of it. It's like, this sucks, man. I can't. It's like, I got to practice medicine the way that the government says I got to practice medicine. Look what we got now. You know, you better be on board with the whole COVID narrative, baby. You better be on board, right? You lose your career. And the way this is going, man, it's looking like the way that they did in Nazi Germany. You either going to toe the line, do the experiments, and do whatever we tell you, promote the narratives that we tell you and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't, well, you're going to be sorry. And if you try to leave, try to get past that wall, you're going to get shot in the back. Well, you think they was all just peasants and stuff like that? How was people with educated people trying to leave? It died, right? America could become like that too. You know, so it's like landlords, like, man, what's the point of being here? What's the point of renting out buildings when the government's going to come in and tell me that I got to do it for free? Now, how am I going to keep maintenance and stuff like that? How am I gonna make sure that the water's running right and the electricity's running right? I'm not making any money. How am I gonna pay the maintenance man? What's the maintenance man supposed to do it for free? Y'all want to make him a slave too? You want to make the landscapers a slave too? You want to make cleanup and all that sort of stuff? You want to make them slaves? The contractors, the electricians, the plumbers, right? You want these people to not make any money and trying to keep these apartments up because you think that this stuff should be free? What you're basically is demanding is slave labor. While you guys are sitting up there talking about minimum wage. We demand minimum wage and all that sort of stuff. You denying people wages. You're not just hurting the landlord. You're hurting the people that the landlord contracts. And then the people who live in the building. It's gonna suck for them because the building is gonna decay. And what are y'all doing, man? All of the guys, you guys think that these Democrats, you think you're so self-righteous and you think you're so holy and holier than thou and stuff like that. It's so compassionate. You're not compassionate. You're screwing people. You know? So at any rate, y'all, let's take a look at more of this Cori Bush. You know, with her sensitive behind. She says every day, black birthing people, and our babies die because our doctors don't believe in our pain. You know, I kind of agree with her there. I see women. I'm telling you, man, it's like women go through some you know, pain being a female, and these doctors are just like, despite how much they claim to care about women, yeah, I'm not seeing how they really. I mean, maybe no, it's yeah, women. These doctors, man, we'll talk about that a little more in a minute, man. It's like a lot of doctors are failing these women, man. Let me see. Our pain and was criticized for using the term birthing people rather than mothers. Okay, so this is where I kind of I for a second there, Cori, I was with you because yeah, these doctors, I think you know they're pretty dismissive with women as far as what they're going through. Like say, you know, it's yeah. I'm pretty sure, you know, a few of y'all have had your experiences as well. So at any rate, we got she's calling women, well, not even women. I guess this distinction of being able to give birth can go to anybody, a birthing person. You could be a man, or you could be a woman, or I don't know, whichever. A birthing person. I don't know what the crap that's supposed to mean. All right, why don't you just say a mother? You know what I'm saying? A mother, female, this is the only ones who got the distinction to be able to do this. But this nut is gonna say birthing person. And she says everyday black birthing people. Wow. Okay, so I mean, you can't even have, I mean, I thought you were all about women's empowerment and stuff like that, and black empowerment. You just subtracted both from both, right? It's like you can't even be empowered as a black person, you know, a black woman who has the distinction of giving birth. You've taken that away from them. Wow, right? You are a hypocrite and very confused. So now anyway, she's admonishing doctors. She wants doctors to recognize a woman's pain. I feel you. I got you, right? She wants doctors to recognize a woman's pain, yet this witch is obscuring the distinctions of what it is to be a woman. You get that? Oh, wow, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys, I know you know what I'm talking about. Crazy town. So, and the irony is that this pro-abortion nut, you know, claiming to care about babies is laughable. You know, and claiming Black Lives Matter while supporting abortion. Okay, yeah, I mean, which blacks are the biggest targets of. All right. Confused. These are the people who get on. Man, it's like you can't just be mad at this person. People elect these people, you know, and you know, as far and as conservatives, you know, you mad because these people are in office. What are you doing to help stop it? Right? We're gonna talk about that a little bit more in a minute. It's like you can't just be mad at the people who elect them because these people are crazy. You're crazy for electing these people. These people go in and representing these crazy people, so that's some blame to go over there too. But conservatives. What's your strategy to get in their way? You don't really have one, right? Actually, conservatives, too many conservatives, they do, right? You guys know what's up. You guys know what it takes. But too many conservatives out there, they don't. They always think that it's going to be some political messiah that they have to throw some money behind to take them out, and all the time disappointed, right? So at any rate, Cori Bush goes on to say, this is what desperation looks like. That chair flying down the hallway, Bush said, after her sister throwing a chair to get the doctor's attention. Every day, black women are subject to harsh and racist treatment during pregnancy and childbirth. Every day, black women die because the system denies our humanity. I don't think she heard what she just said. Okay, but let's back up here a little bit. These doctors, Cori, and conservatives, this, you know, this would help for you to listen to this too. The doctors that are dismissive of you are typically liberal Democrats, educated in godless, Democrat-infested schools. All right. Also, if there is no male or female, you know, as you say, birthing persons, all right, then that makes you an it. I hope you understand that. You say birthing persons, that's an it, Cori. That's an it. And if you're an it, then you can't really be human. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't take away that person's humanity. You can't do that. The person is still human. But you have obscured the meaning of what it is to be human. You've made it to where you can't, you've eliminated being able to just see them as a human. You've entered this other dynamic that's like, okay, are you a man? Are you a woman? And you've created this new thing. That's an it. All right. This is you putting a shroud over their humanity. This is you making some other veil to put on them to not see them as human. You did that. All right. So since this is something that you do, and this is something that you promote, how do you sit there and have the audacity to try to accuse somebody else of not acknowledging your humanity or women's humanity? You are the worst offender of that. You are. Don't try to complain and butthurt to us about these doctors not seeing you as human. You on the same side as them anyway. Y'all a bunch of elitist Democrats who feel like you have the power to disqualify somebody's personhood. That's y'all anyway. That's y'all, right? So you're locked in with the Democrat Party and their history of disqualifying personhood. Well, what is this birthing person, right? I mean, if it can't be a he, or it can be a he and it can be a she, Well, y'all, it adds up to an it, right? That's not a person. You can't see them as a person. Don't get me wrong, y'all. They're people. But what you've done is you've interfered to how you can receive them, right? Or perceive them, I should say. I receive anybody as a human being. These people get in the way of that, right? And perceive them as, and make these fantasies about some other thing that they can be, you know? So you're setting people up to be void of their humanity, just like the Democrats have always done, you psycho, right? And you're a proud tool for them. So anyway, she goes on to say, I've been dealing with anger from the right wing, from extremists, from white supremacists since 2014. Yeah, you have. But they weren't on the right wing, though. And I've learned the best ways for me to deal with it, Bush said. Okay, Cori, the white people, like I said, that have been making you so uncomfortable are the Democrats that surround you. All right, these your areas. The Democrat runs the places where blacks have the most grievances. Talk about all this white supremacy and all that sort of stuff, and how, you know, they don't like the way white people look at them, and all this stuff that they get all sensitive about, and all the police brutality and the prison industrial complex and crappy schools and all that sort of stuff. Democrats run these areas. All right, maybe at some point y'all will make the connection, but it's hard for y'all to make the connection because Democrats are quick to hit y'all with that influence. They're right there, right? Wiring your brains. It's like blacks are the most important people to Democrats because when they control blacks, they influence the rest of the country. That's just the way that it is. Okay? It's not a fault of black people. It's not a fault. But Democrats know who to target, right? Unfortunately, they just get to them first. They get to real quick, boom, and then they start wiring how they perceive things. They create an environment for how black folks see things. Right? It's not a fault of black people. It could be anyway. It just happens that they go after blacks. And with blacks, they influence and have an effect on the rest of the country. We talk about this in my audiobook, A Solid Right Cross. Y'all can listen to it for free. I hope you guys go check it out. It's on my website. The link is in the description box. So let's see. Now, anyway, so while she's got this, you know, all this animus against white people, how she thinks that white people are just so evil to her, I could say pretty assuredly, Cori, that I don't think any white person has made you even the liberal, even the Democrat white people, right? Even the Democrat white people. I'll bet you that none of them have made you as uncomfortable as your own husband, who is black. I'll bet none of them were as cruel to you as he was. Okay, so and he remains anonymous, by the way. I guess maybe she don't want anybody to know that the meanest person in her life was a black man, right? According to you, Cori, he almost killed you twice. Seems like you like black men who threaten the lives of women. You know, like George Floyd. You seem to be a big fan of George Floyd. George Floyd wasn't some nice guy to women either. All right, so you seem to like these men and protect these men. The men who have been the most mean to you and cruel to you have been black men while you're going after white people. So your husband abused you. Your black husband abused, and like I said, this stuff pretty much typically happens in Democrats-run areas, you know, where they have control over these people, right? This isn't just a trait of black men. This is an influence. It's engineered, right? It's social engineering. This isn't just a trait with people, right? Not putting this plate and say, hey, because you're black, this is what you do. No, they're targeted for an influence, all right? So, but your husband, you know, because I don't make things about nationalities and colors and stuff like that. I don't do that. That's in my bag. I'm calling these people out for what they do. They make it the narrative. I'm calling out their narrative, so I hope you guys can understand that. Your husband, though, I mean, since according to your narrative, right, it's Black Lives Matter and white people are evil, right? Black people are always innocent. White people are evil. But your husband, who is black, abused you to a point where you almost lost your 2 children with complications in gestation. But you want to blame the white hospital workers for not caring. You don't put that on them. Oh, these white people, it's because of these white people in these hospitals, I almost lost my children. No, I think it was because your husband abusing you. Right? Now, I've seen stuff like that happen where, women have been abused to a point of miscarriage, right? And the Bible talks about these things too. So you, unfortunately, were an instance of that at the hands of your black husband, right? Who I'm pretty sure probably told it that whole Black Lives Matter thing and all that sort of stuff. And, the dynamic, is, and let me say really quick, this guy obviously didn't care about you and your health, the health of your children, right? So at any rate, y'all, and I'm assuming that he was black because, she makes it a point to say that her children are black, right? So I don't know who her husband is. He's shrouded in secrecy, y'all. So, but she says that her children, they're black. She wants you to know that they're black. And I doubt it's because of just the one drop rule. I'm pretty sure that, as far as she's concerned, they're black because their father was black. But see, here's the thing, y'all. This is a lot with the black community. The black community is just raised to be the most insecure nationality in America. Raised to be that way. All right. I'm pretty sure that Cori's husband, while abusing her, called her the B word and called her the N word and cursed her for being black, and was probably just everything about her was just wrong, and prefaced it by cursing her for being black. I'll bet you, right? Because that's being authentically black, right? You go into black culture, when they gonna start snapping on you, it's always prefaced, the first fault that they're gonna find with you is being black, right? You black this, and they're gonna start, they're gonna make correlations and all that sort of stuff. Even if it's joking, if they're cursing you because they're mad at you, they're gonna preface it by you being black, right? So when you have that in black culture, you're raised to be insecure about being black, while being told that it's something to be proud of. These people, so it renders a lot of confusion. And then while black folks curse each other for being black, they turn around and blame the white man for doing it, right? And they have to believe it. You better buy it, right? Or you're really gonna get ostracized. So here it is, you have these people who are they're raised on it, and they lie to each other, telling, when we do this, we just making sure that we preparing each other for the struggle, for the harsh realities for the world. That's why we talk to each other like this. We got to make sure we condition ourselves and make each other thick skin and make sure that we're ready to handle the real world. No, you're not teaching each other to handle the struggles of the real world. You're teaching each other to be a struggle in the real world. You're teaching each other to be a complication. You're not teaching people to handle complications. You're teaching each other to be knuckleheads. That's what you're teaching it, while making the excuse of, and that's just an excuse for you to be cruel to people. That's what you're doing. And then going to turn around and blame white people for doing it. And you give these Democrats the power to do it. These are the white people that you're mad at because they created an environment for you to do it. I don't know, maybe you haven't heard that Great Society thing, right? I'm telling you, man, it's like this woke thing. Y'all ain't woke. Woke zombies, right? So anyway, it's like Cori Bush butt hurting about cops pulling her dad over, right? She mad about that. Okay, Cori, just like we was just talking about, in domestic abuse is, and just abuse of females, unfortunately, in the black community is high, right? It's high. You hear it you can hear it. They glorify it in the lyrics how they treat women. Just treat women like dogs, right? Talk about how they love their black sisters and black queens and stuff like that, while beating on them and leaving them with and making baby daddies here and there, right? It's like, I'm just calling out the hypocrisy. I'm not saying that that's just in black folks' genes. I'm just saying that's been a condition that's been taught in the culture, But as it is, domestic abuse, with the black community is bad. So here's the thing with Cori Bush being upset because police officers will pull her dad over, and these most likely in Democrat-run areas. But I digress. Let me explain something to you, Cori. Considering the abuse that you went through, maybe you would consider that if the cops are pulling your dad over, it's probably because they thought you might be in danger. Cops actually do that. I don't know if you know this or not, but cops will do that. If they think that a woman might be in danger, they'll look for an excuse to pull that person over, right? Sometimes they'll ask outright, ma'am, are you okay? Sometimes they'll do that. Sometimes they won't, because it could put you in more danger. They don't want to tick the person that you're with off, right? So, it's like, just maybe make up some excuse or something, like just to check on you, see if everything is cool. Sometimes they have to, not be like, ma'am, are you okay? Because that might really take that, and when you get home, you're really going to be in trouble. They'll take that out on you. All right. So yes, sometimes that happens. Believe it or not, they might have been doing it out of your safety. Maybe. They just might have been. Have you ever considered that? I'm not saying that's what it was, but it might have been. You say that you're riding with your dad. You are riding with your father, and for some reason, every time you're riding with your dad just happens to get pulled over. Wasn't doing anything wrong, right? So the cops just didn't have anything better to do and just pull. But when you're with them, so I'm just saying you might want to consider, because you said that you were older at this point, right? It wasn't like you were some little kid. They just see, a person in the car, a male and female. They might have been pulling your dad over to check on you. It's possible. All right. So, anyway, moving on, y'all. This hypocrite is in another story with Cori. I promise we gonna step away from the Cori thing for a little bit, but this stuff is just okay. Cori is defending, this hypocrite is defending hiring private guards, y'all, while seeking to defund the police. Okay, so this is her stunt, right? Where she's she's sleeping outside, a state building, a government building, right? She's sleeping on the steps. She gonna make her stance against homelessness or eviction or whichever, right? Making her little, her rhetorical statement, right? So, okay, but Cori, you have you hired, you spent the taxpayers' money to get security. Girl, you ain't keeping it real. You are not keeping it real. You are fake. Homeless people don't have flipping security. You go rough it. You go get out there with the people. And you go. I'm one of you. I'm a 99%er. I'm gonna go out there and sleep on the streets just like you. You got my back, right? You got make sure my security detail is out there and make sure that nothing happens. Homeless people don't get that luxury. They don't get to be like, hey, security, watch me, make sure nothing happens while I go to sleep and stuff like that. No, they don't get that luxury. You're a hypocrite. Come on, you brag about how you're this woman who came up from having to sleep in your car. You've done it before. You've roughed it before. You can do it again. Get your behind in your car and go to sleep. You don't need no security. You Cori Bush, right? You came up from sleeping in your car. Go do it again, right? So it's these hypocrites, man, making these, and people buy it too, man. That's the sad part, man. People be buying this stuff, And then so we got so she wants to defund the police and have her little security detail at taxpayers' expense. And then that's like these hypocrites like AOC who want to defund the police and reallocate those funds toward like what climate cops? Yeah, AOC wants to have like a military proportion climate police. People who actually, it's like, go out there, basically, they're going to be the climate Gestapo. You got to make sure that you're respecting, Mother Earth and all that sort of stuff. And which, of course, speaking of which, is basically going to become the Democrats' paramilitary. If she's able to get this, I mean, that's what she's proposing. I hope she don't get it, but let's say if she does. It'll be all in the guise of protecting the earth and stuff like that. But the ones who are going to be protecting the earth, I guess for future generations, are going to be killing off a generation of people because they're the climate police. All right, that's what she wants. That's some brown shirt type stuff. Okay, so. And also, like we see that Maxine Waters is tied up in this stuff, and we know how much conservatives can't stand Maxine Waters. I can't stand her either. But in love though, right? She's the enemy of the state, but we love you though, Maxine, because the Lord instructs us to. So we're gonna do that. Pray for you. We hope that you receive the Lord's peace and truth. But in the meantime, you're a nut, okay? And you need to be opposed. So at any rate, So, with conservatives, they can't stand her, but I guess they're not bothered enough by her to actually do what it takes to unseat her. right? And I'd be trying to, you'd be surprised, man. I get conservatives, mad at me and just write me off and curse me out because I'm telling you, it's like, dude, this stuff that you're doing, it doesn't work. Now, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, okay. What I be telling y'all, this stuff is not put into practice. Y'all are going along with the common consensus of how to handle these things, and it's proven to not work. Y'all won't try another approach. Right? The approach that at least when the Republican Party was founded, at least they understood. This Republican Party today, too much, they don't understand. They don't know their roots, man. They don't know their roots. These Republicans, man, they're too dependent on some political messiah to save the America from Maxine Waters, right? After all these years, y'all still don't understand. That hasn't been the political route to victory that would achieve a victory against her. It's a cultural route. That's for conservatives, that's like the route that angels fear to tread or something like that. Conservatives just do not support that route. It always has to be the official route of a politician. While they say they don't trust politicians, and while they say government is the problem and not the answer, they still look for somebody to go into government to solve this problem. That's too many conservatives. It's weird, man. It's like just weird enough weird to go around. Democrats got their weirdness, and conservatives got theirs too, right? And it's both unpractical. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm conservative. I like conservative ideas. I square up with those. But too many, like with too much of conservatives, they're approaching things is sabotage. It's self-sabotage. They really just they don't understand. They refuse to understand how they are sabotaging themselves. Who's this cat? Just a real quick break from all that stuff. Manchin confronts the Fed with concerns about inflation. I think that cat might be a Democrat. It's like, I don't know, but I just saw this article and this came across my desk. So, and so I get it, man. You concerned about inflation. It'd be nice if people understood, man. If people would kind of like put this together. I saw this cat make this point, and I agree. If the feds could print real money, there'd be no reason for them to tax us. Right? It's like they're just like this inflation, man. We got this printed money, and you got these people out there thinking that they're receiving real, sustainable money. That's funny, man. That's funny. Now, on another note. On another note, man, I mean, because really, it's why do you think that these people, if they could print this money, right? They could print this money, folks. Why do you stand for that? When you know that the government is just sitting there printing money, why do you tolerate them taxing? It's like, dude, won't you guys just go ahead and print your own money instead of taking ours? Why are you taking our money when y'all got a machine that prints money for you, right? Y'all greedy. All right. So, but now also, and speaking of which, when people be getting this money for their, their stimulus and checks and all that sort of stuff, I noticed that these people, they want to receive the money, to pay their rent. Right? We want the money. We want them stimulus checks to pay our rent and stuff like that. While they always seem to have enough money to buy weed, right? In these states, man, where marijuana is legal and stuff like that. It's like they got enough money to buy weed, but they ain't got enough money to pay their rent. What's up with that? Right? And notice that goes along with noticing that they don't want the money to go to the landlord to cover their rent. What's up with that? It's like if it's your rent that you want the money for, why are y'all not okay with the money just going to the landlord to cover y'all's rent? Right? You would think that these like Section 8 rent control loving liberals would totally be in favor with the landlords receiving the rent money so the tenant wouldn't have to sweat it. But nope. Right? You would think that these people who are pushing, once again, for socialism, and even though they call it democratic socialism, it's like, well, you want a system where the state owns everything. It's like you guys can go ahead and have your free housing. Why? So if you want the free housing, you want to be wards of the state, why aren't y'all okay with the state just sending your landlords the money to cover your rent? Why do you want the money? It's because you guys are lying to yourselves. You guys are liars, right? You live in a fantasy and trying to make other people out to be evil, greedy people. No, it's you who are covetous, evil, and greedy. That's y'all. All right, so let's see. Last thing, man. I think this might be the last thing I'm gonna talk about. Geraldo Rivera, right? All right, Geraldo Rivera, man, lashed out at Dan Bongino. I don't care. Anyway, he lashed out at Dan Bongino again on Fox News, calling him a punk and hurling a wad of paper at the camera. I'm sick of you, Dan Bongino. All right, so okay, so why is Geraldo butthurt, man? Why is he mad? Why you mad, Geraldo? Why you mad, G? He's mad because he thinks that Israel is just bullying Palestine, right? The Palestinians, you know, and is a bane to Hamas and stuff like that. So he's pro, you know, Palestine. He's an anti-Semite all day. But here's the irony. He's demanding a ceasefire. Hey, man, can we find some? Hey, Geraldo, who do you think you are, man? Are you posturing yourself to be like an ambassador of the United States or something like that? Who appointed you? Is there any way that we can get the Logan Act on this guy? He's saying, I demand a ceasefire. He's like, I know he hasn't gone overseas or anything like that, but dang, man. You know, it's like, so look, Geraldo's sitting here demanding a ceasefire. Dude, you can't even keep your cool. And so Geraldo's gonna sit there and act like that these years of history have gone of this feud, right? Which hey, go ahead and call me a Zionist if you want to, right? Yeah, that's right, man. I'm down with Israel. This is not something that Israel brought against these people. It was brought against Israel. All right. So that being said, Geraldo's very dyslexic about how this works, but that's not the point. The point is that he thinks that this feud should just stop because he said so. I demand a ceasefire. I demand a ceasefire. Dude, Geraldo, you can't even keep your cool. You calling Dan Bongino a punk? Man, there's fighting words. Right? That's you asking for a fight. You can't even keep your cool. Right? So you're just as hard, you're as much of a coward as Hamas as he calls Bongino a punk and disrespectfully throws a wad of paper at the camera, right? This is Geraldo Rivera hiding behind an innocent bystander cameraman in another studio as he throws stuff, the same way Hamas hides behind children. So, Geraldo, you know, did you care, man? Did you care if you involved the cameraman in your insult against Bongino when you threw that paper, right? And by the way, who was made to pick up that paper after? I mean, hey, if you went back and you picked up that paper that you threw to make up for your littering, good on you, man. I hope you did. But I imagine maybe you did not. So somebody else, you know, was you know, they've got people for that. The lessers can go and pick that up. But anyway, Geraldo, while you you know, try to flex and stuff like that from a, you know, remote area and throwing paper at people as if it's Dan Bongino, that's, you know, that's the kind of stuff that Hamas does, right? Who don't care who get caught up in their target, right? You're a hypocrite, Geraldo. You're like the Beatles, man. The Beatles telling, you know, 6.5 billion at the time, 6.5 billion people, all you need is love. All you need is love. Between the four of them, they couldn't even get along. Right? So, dude, it's like you sit up there demanding a ceasefire and talking for calm while you trying to actually pick a fight, you know, not talking peaceably at all, not being civil at all, but you expect these people to be civil. And not only do you expect them to be civil when you can't be, you expect them to be civil. You don't even know who the perpetrator is. You don't know who the culprit of evil is. You're totally dyslexic on it, right? It's unfortunate, man. So, but like I said, Geraldo is a full-blown hypocrite, but hey, it's great trash entertainment, right? Right? Now, does Geraldo believe this crap? Does he believe the stuff that comes out of his mouth? Of course he does. Yes, he does. But he knows how to make his beliefs entertaining. Right? Yes, he does. I don't particularly care for his stuff. I don't watch Geraldo, but he makes a living at it, right? He's so good at it that even Fox gives him an ongoing platform to do it, right? So let's not kid ourselves. I'm trying to tell y'all, Geraldo knows how to work the cultural angle. Tied them both together. He knows how to entertain folks, okay? He knows that Fox News, right? They know they'll retain their grip on a lot of their conservative audience, despite Geraldo Rivera being on there. They know they'll still retain a lot of their audience, right? Because a lot of their audience loves to tune into Fox just so they can yell at the TV set. They know it, man. Y'all don't see, I'm telling y'all don't understand. I don't know if y'all understand the power of entertainment, man. I don't know if y'all do, you know? And it's got to go beyond just talking heads and political speak. You got to be able to take that stuff into cultural vehicles that people can relate to, people that want to actually watch, and where you can capture their imagination, capture their attention so you convey the truth to them, right? It's not everybody's going to sit there and listen to Fox News, you know, only long enough to create a prejudice against them. That's about it, you know? So, you know, but there is a silver lining to it, though, because at least as long as conservatives are yelling at Geraldo Rivera through their TV set, you are shouting out your support for Israel. And that's good. Right, and we should capitalize on this, y'all, and drive it home that the real anti-Semites, you know, are people like Geraldo, people who lean left. You're Democrats. Democrats have a history of being Jew haters, right? Anti-Israel. That's their history. They have their profile looks just like Nazism. They are the founders of the KKK, who especially hated Jews. That's Democrat history, y'all. Right? Geraldo himself is a self-despising Jew, right? Who hides behind his mother to give him some Jew cred, right? To make him look like he's not an anti-Semite, right? You know, it's funny when people like they'll lean on that sort of stuff, you know, to give them some sort of credibility. It's really cowardly. But like I said, y'all, it's entertaining, right? The arguments, y'all, even when they do these arguments, they're staged, almost like flipping wrestling. All right. They're encouraged by their producers. Are they having a genuine agreement? Yes. But they're encouraged to play up that disagreement for the sensationalism, right? After which Bongino and Geraldo may have a beer and stuff like that, because they know they're going to get paid, right? They're going to make money. While they're making you shout at the TV set, getting you frustrated, they are getting richer. That's their job. All right. Now, I'm not saying that Bongino doesn't care about his country and stuff like that. I'm not saying that at all. However, still, even with Bongino, a lot of these people, their job is part of it is provocateuring. Do they have a genuine love? Does he have a genuine love for his country? Sure, I have no doubt about that. But at the same time, even with using that love, it's just getting you mad, but it's not telling you anything useful. You are being informed. Yes. Are you learning what Democrats are doing? Yes, but you're not learning who they are. Like I said, too many Republicans, they really don't know who Democrats are. And that's why y'all can't really fight them. That's why they keep winning, right? Winning by cheating. This is how they win. But Republicans help them win. Too many do, right? So Bongino, he's brilliant at what he does in terms of like giving you information, giving you the hard, cold facts of what Democrats are doing. But that stuff is useless if you don't know who they are and you don't know how to call them out for who they are. Right? That's why, and especially because the cultural impact is not there. Anything that these people tell you, sure, in the political arena, it looks all well and good. You've got the hardcore facts and you've got these people dead to rights and all that sort of stuff, but it will be unstable because y'all have no cultural groundwork, right? Anything that you tell is just going to collapse. They've already they've got the ground. They've been laying their groundwork. They've got their weaponry trained on you. From a long time ago, right? I'm trying to tell conservatives, you know, I'm serious. You listen to these people just stroking your anger, you know, that's what they're doing. Stroking your anger, stroking your pride. It's not helpful to you. Another approach has to be without compromising your principles. You need to change the approach though, right? And conservatives, too many, y'all do, and I thank you, but too many, they don't support it. All right, y'all, that's what I got for today. That's what came across my desk for today. Thank you for coming to chill out. And well, I hope we was. Hey, so you and your grumpy behind, man. I don't know how chill it was, but hey, I still hope you guys had some fun. And you know, if we get grumpy up in here, so hey, you be talking about these people stroking there. You stroking our anger too. Yeah, but you know, I'm telling you something that you need to hear, not telling you something that you just want to hear. Right? I hope at least we have that distinction, and I don't just be raising heat. Right? I try to shed light, not raise heat. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of these cats out there just want to raise some heat, trying to give some light to the situation, right? So if you guys appreciate, you know, what I'm trying to offer here is you guys, and I appreciate y'all helping me help do my part to promote some truth and sanity in the culture, man. If you guys can dig, what this stuff is coming from, hope you visit my website, bronzeserpentmedia.com. Hope you drop a buck in the bucket. Share these vids, y'all. I hope that you do share, and don't get discouraged, because when you do try to share, they're gonna Facebook, Twitter, they're gonna target that stuff. If it's my content, they're gonna make sure it's not seen. All right, but I hope you try anyway. I know it's a drag because you try to share this and nobody sees it. It's like I'm putting up content that nobody sees. That sucks. I want people to see what I post. They're gonna block it, right? Facebook is gonna keep your friends from seeing my stuff. But like I said, I hope you try anyway. Sharing it means a lot, man. It's I'm trying to do my part to help promote some sanity, just like you. And so, like I said, you can get the mugs at the website, Sipping Style, y'all. Get that cup of head right. Make your friends jealous, right? And then got the shirts, got music, 20-pound sledge. Help support in the culture, y'all. Help support the entertainment. And we need music out there with a right message. Okay, it's pretty much, it's a dirty sound, clean message. A lot of the same sound that a lot of people out there listening to, especially more on the rock end, right? But more support, I can do more genres. I can connect. I can scout, right? And give incentives for other artists to make more of the kind of music that more pop, R&B, and all that sort of stuff. It can make different kinds of music to appeal to more people and get that message to even more audience, right? So when you support that, that's what we get. These liberals ain't gonna stop doing what they're doing, especially if there's nobody competing against them, right? So let's compete against them, all right? So make sure you grab the audiobook, A Solid Right Cross. Got some other books on there. Blood Raven, Weapon of ASS Destruction. So hope you guys go there and check it out. You guys can even listen to this stuff for free. Just share it, right? You don't even have to do that. You can listen to it for free, right? But if you want to support, like I said, I hope you drop a buck in the bucket. All right, y'all. Blessings. Subscribe if you want. I appreciate it. Blessings. See you again.